You won't believe your ears, I was speechless myself when I first witnessed this. How is something like this still possible in the 21st century? This isn't a show, not a reenactment or a staged performance, it's a ritual that decides people's destinies, shapes their lives, and leaves scars not only on their bodies but deep within their souls. We are in the southwest of Ethiopia, in the Omo Valley, at the very edge of the familiar world, where the earth breathes with ancient memories, and time flows according to its own old laws. The village we're heading to lies hidden in the lowlands, reached by a narrow dirt road. The further we drive from civilization, the louder we hear the rhythm of drums and the powerful voices of women driving the ceremony. Today is the second and most important day of a multi-day ritual. And what I saw there changed forever my understanding of pain, devotion, and courage. Picture this: the blazing heat of the African sun, the smoke of fires, the smell of bitter coffee and spices, the hum of voices, and thousands of shimmering necklaces and metal ornaments reflecting the light. The women, the central figures of the event, wear traditional garments adorned with heavy jewelry around their necks and in their hair. They sing, move, and dance in a trance-like rhythm. Their voices are like a heartbeat that reminds everyone this is both celebration and trial. And this is not just a ceremony, it's a passage. The bull jumping ritual, called Ukuli Bula, is an ancient rite of passage marking a young man's transition into adulthood. If he succeeds, it's a sign to the tribe, he is now a man. He can marry, own cattle, start a family. Imagine the weight of that moment. This isn't just a tradition, it's a social code written in movement, in scars, in breathtaking trials. The event begins with the reception of guests. Men are seated on cowhides and offered local drinks in traditional vessels. None of this is done for tourists, this is sacred. The young initiate walks among the guests, tense, almost silent, his eyes say more than words ever could. His father and family are at the center of attention, for it is the father who decides when the son is ready. The entire celebration is organized by the family, and relatives gather from distant villages to witness it. Then the men begin to dance. It's not jazz, not ballet, it's synchronized jumping, hundreds of bodies moving in one pulse, each leap seeming to answer an unspoken question. Are you ready? I've seen similar dances in South Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, everywhere. The same feeling, rhythm binds people together. But the most shocking moment happens in the dry riverbed. There, women, close relatives of the initiate, willingly approach the men of the Maza group, young men who have already passed the initiation, and allow themselves to be struck with thin sticks. To a European ear, it may sound harsh, even cruel, but here, it's something else entirely. These strikes are not punishment, they're acts of devotion, loyalty, and support for the one stepping into adulthood. The scars that remain hold deep cultural meaning, reminders of duty, protection, and connection. I watched as women carefully chose their switches, approached the men, and with heads held high, received the blows, and it was both moving and terrifying. A striking detail: the Maza men arrived on motorcycles, carrying bundles of sticks. The contrast was powerful, the collision of ancient tradition and modern life. Motorbikes represent the present, the sticks and rituals, the timeless past. Another unexpected fact: taking part in such ceremonies often brings them income. For their participation, Maza men may receive an animal, usually a sheep or goat. For the locals, this is not just a gift, it's economic support, part of an unspoken social exchange. There's a deep complexity here, where sacred meaning and practical survival coexist. Then comes a pause. New participants arrive, painting their faces with intricate patterns, friends, mentors, guarantors of the initiate's success. They are honored with drinks and seats of respect. The tension grows, the climax is near. As the sun begins to set, the bulls are brought out. Men line them up, shoulder to shoulder, and the crowd falls silent. The young man stands completely naked, a symbol of vulnerability and trust. He touches the animals, whispers something to them, calming them, perhaps. Then he begins walking, then running across their backs, balancing like on a razor's edge. My heart was pounding. The rule is simple but merciless: run back and forth 4 times across the bulls without falling. He slips once. What does it mean? To us, a dramatic moment, to the tribe, part of destiny. No one rushes to interfere. The ritual must take its course. And then, an unexpected twist, like a film within a film. On the way back, the tourists faced a surprise. Somewhere in the mountains, a heavy rain had fallen, and a small stream we had crossed easily in the morning turned into a wild torrent. Vehicles were stuck on one side, and people had to cross on foot, wading through the rushing water. Some waited until dawn. It felt symbolic, as if the journey itself demanded its own trial. If you want to know how it all really was, stay with me. Ahead are the details I didn't mention at the beginning, the cultural meanings, the small ritual gestures, and the personal stories of the people I met. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you watch this video to the end. I'll share what I saw with my own eyes and what I learned directly from the elders and guides. This matters, because it's easy to distort what you don't understand, and I'll tell you the truth as it was told to me. Let's break it down together. Why do women endure the whipping? How is the Maza group formed? What does the family's gift of a sheep at the end signify? Why do some Maza men delay marriage, and how has this ritual become a source of income for them? I'll give context, economic, social, symbolic. I'll explain that the scars are not marks of pain, but of identity and honor. I'll show how roles are divided by gender and age, and why a father's decision determines his son's path. Most importantly, I'll reveal where the fine line lies between respect for tradition and outside observation, and how the presence of tourists subtly changes the meaning of the ritual itself. I'll share my personal reflections, how the locals see us, the outsiders, what questions should never be asked, what emotions are hidden behind the songs and decorations. You'll hear the women's voices, the crackle of fires, the sound of hides being stretched. You'll understand why, for these people, every act has meaning, and why we, as visitors, must approach it with humility and awe. So subscribe, like, share this video, and get ready, because the most fascinating part is still ahead, the detailed scenes, the deeper symbolism, and the stories of those who live this tradition every day. And if you comment continue, I'll make an extended version, with interviews, analysis, and facts that couldn't fit into one video. In the next part, I'll uncover the historical roots of the ritual, what the word Ukuli Bula truly means, how the ceremony has changed under modern influence, and why reality here can be both harsh and breathtakingly beautiful. This is not just a spectacle, it's a human story about belonging, endurance, and triumph. Thank you for listening to this introduction. The deeper journey begins next.